Hello and welcome to this String King video. This is going to be a series of videos about putting a guitar together from parts. What we've got on the table here is a American Standard Fender neck from 2002, I think. A Swamp Ash 3-piece body from Guitar Build, and a Callahan bridge. So this project came about because a client of mine bought me what he thought was an American Standard, but when we took it apart we found that the body wasn't an original Fender, and so he's asked me to put something together for him because he had intended to put the Callahan bridge into the other guitar. What I'm going to do with this body, which is a lovely piece of, well, 3 pieces actually, of Swamp Ash laminated together, is I'm going to use some of this black grain filler, and then I'm going to stain it with water-based stain and finishing oil on top of that. So it should be a beautiful looking guitar. Hopefully we'll still be able to see some of this lovely grain when we've got that finish on. So the first thing is get some of this grain filler in it. Okay, so we've got the grain filler on. I'm going to leave this for 24 hours to cure properly into the pores of the wood, and then I'll use a 320 grit sandpaper to take the bulk of that off, and we'll just be left with what's sat in the grains. The objective of this is to fill the grains of the wood, or the grain of the wood, so that when we come to put on the final finish it is perfectly smooth. The trouble with ash is it can be a little bit grainy, and that's particularly the case around the edges where you've got some end grain. Not so much on top, but certainly around the edges and around these pieces here, these areas here. So we'll just leave that for 24 hours and then I'll come back and I'll do some sanding, and we'll see where we get to from there. Hello and welcome back. I've finished doing the well, I finished the finish on this guitar. So it was a black stain over a piece of Swamp Ash. I'll also put in the copper shielding. So what I'm going to do next, sorry about the blurriness, is put the strap button in here, because once I've got the neck on it's going to be difficult to get the angle for the drill. And when I've put that strap button in, I'm going to put the bridge in. So there's also pre-drilled holes here, but I need to check that they're in exactly the right place. I think they're okay. I think this body maker knows what they're doing. So I'll put the bridge in, then I'll put the neck on, then we'll get it stringed up and see where we are. I won't put the scratch plate in straight away because I want to check the neck alignment first. So I'll wait until I've put the bridge, neck and strings on before I do that. Okay, the work's finished on this guitar now. It's now ready to go to the customer. Everything's been installed on it. It's set up. Yeah, it's all good to go. So essentially what we've got is a Fender, I think it was 2003 Highway 1 US Stratocaster neck, and this is a body that was made by Guitar Build up in the northwest, and so what we did with it was stained it black, and then used the well, some Liberon finishing oil, and then some Crimson Custom Guitars high build finishing oil on it. So it almost has the look of a varnish, but it's not a varnish, it's a lot softer. But you can see the wood, some of the wood pattern through the finish, which is quite nice, the wood grain. Customer had already supplied me with these, with this back plate and the scratch plate. but it has got the Callahan narrow vintage bridge in it. So that's the bridge for the narrower fender necks with the 52mm string spacing. It's got bare knuckle pickups. The wiring that I've done in this guitar is the blend wiring. So that's a blend pot. So we've got volume for all three pickups, tone for all three pickups, and then this is a no load blend pot. So fully open at 10, it doesn't really do anything. You just get the normal switch configurations. If you put it somewhere between 0 and 9, you will get a blend of different pickups depending on which switch position you have it in. So you can have, for example, you can have that pickup plus the neck pickup plus the bridge pickup, or all three pickups. It just depends on the switch. It's quite complicated, to be honest with you, but it gives you an incredible variety of sounds. And plugged in, this sounds great. Mainly, I think, because the fit of the neck to the body is really good, but also the bridge, the Callahan bridge, although it costs 185 quid, which is a hell of a lot of money for a bridge, it does really resonate fantastically. I mean, it's like Spinal Tap. Go and make a cup of tea and come back and it'll still be ringing. So it is a really good guitar, and I'm really pleased with the way it's turned out, and hopefully when Ian comes to pick it up, he'll be equally pleased with it. Thanks very much.